The federal Liberal Party finds itself at a crossroads now that Justin Trudeau has announced he plans to resign once a new leader is chosen. So where does it go from here? Joining us to ponder that question and more is former Liberal MP for Whitby, Celina Caesar-Chavannes. And Celina, first off, what was your reaction to the Prime Minister's announcement yesterday?
I was surprised. I made premonitions about what he would do with past instances, and I suspected that he would have stepped down. I wasn't quite 100%, but seeing over the holidays how many people were sort of insisting that he step down, I was surprised, but not as surprised as I would have been if I hadn't seen so many dominoes fall in the process.
Right, yeah, there have been repeated calls for him to step aside. Why do you think it took so long for him to do so?
Oh, I have no idea. And I think the challenge with taking so long for him to do so is that now the Liberals are in a position where they are not most likely not going to win the next election. And so there's going to be a big challenge in not just with getting a leader in place, but in getting people across the country that could hopefully have a minority government for the Conservatives in October of this year. It's going to be a challenge with him waiting so long. The calls have been coming for a very long time, and he's essentially fallen on his own sword at this point, and the Liberals are going to have to do a lot of work to pick up the pieces.
Now, there has been some chatter about who will step up to be the next leader. Do those at the top of the party believe they can beat Pierre Poilievre in the next election?
I think this is a two-term strategy at this point. There's really a lot of ground to cover for someone between now and October to elect a leader. There has to be a few months there, and then to go out campaigning. I would say that the choice has to be someone that can challenge Pierre, that can work with him within a new Trump administration in the U.S., also have the pulse on what is required for Canada, be a official opposition that challenges the government. And I'm saying that thinking that the Conservatives will win, but it's going to be whoever is the leader is going to have a lot of things to juggle. And the fact that their priorities are displaced right now between, running for leadership, thinking of an election, and thinking of a Trump administration just makes it very difficult for whoever comes in.
We did hear, some names, obviously, of who might want that seat. Who do you believe has a legitimate shot to take over as leader, and who can be successful in doing so?
So I'm not going to name any names, but I was reading a great piece by Bhagwat Sadhu this morning in the Hill Times, and just talking about someone who really has to have a nice level head, a nice steady pulse, someone who, as I said earlier, could challenge the official opposition, someone who has a keen eye, is relatable to Canadians, someone who understands their frustrations right now, somebody who understands their fears, going to the pump, going to the gas station, going to the grocery, buying a home, affordability. These are the things that they're going to really have to consider. And if they're not able to translate that message in the way that Pierre has to Canadians in bite-sized chunks that people could absorb and understand, they're going to have a challenge. So it has to be someone that is very mindful, not only of the domestic challenges at play, but the international challenges, especially with a Trump administration.
There'll be a lot to look forward to, a lot of work to be done ahead, and I'm sure we'll be watching very closely. Thanks so much,
Absolutely.
Celina, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.